Hi everybody, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. Well, you're going to have to sit down for this next half hour because it's something that you might be interested in, not only you, but your family and whatever. So with me, I finally got our fire chief. Thanks, Chief, for coming. You've
Thanks
been
for having me.
busy, and I can understand why, because when you came here, then this and this and this and this has been going on. So where do we start?
We can start wherever you want to start, but I know that we talked about some of the programs that the fire department offers, and we want to also go over to the AEDs and kind of like how we use them and where they're at and why and how they work. So we can go over a few of the programs first that the fire department offers and then jump into the AEDs. I think that'd be great.
Well, let's get this out of the way, and then we'll concentrate because you have a lot of things going for you. The reason I called you, well, like the third, fourth time, excuse me, is because somebody about a month ago, there was a girl from Ellen Park who was a track runner.
Yes.
And got a situation.
Correct.
And the coaches were able to use AED, got her rhythm going before the before the EMS came. So the mother complimented the group that, hey, if it wasn't for them, she might not be here. And then I talked to the coaches, like Marty, who's on our Sportscaster show, and he said, we have to know all these procedures because we are coaching, we're there, we're supposed to know. So he told me about what his girls do for the bowling. Like, okay, if you're going to here, just in case. So I went and I asked somebody in our office, does anybody really know how to use that AED because it's on the wall? Do people know what's on the wall, first of all? And if they take it off, how do they start? So
here we are. All right.
Here we are.
No, yes. So the situation happened in Allen Park. That was, super fortunate that they had the AEDs and they had the knowledge and how to use them, and the outcome was amazing. So it's statistically proven that if you are able to use the AED within the first 3 minutes, they are equating it. American Heart is equating to a 95% success rate. If it's a shockable rhythm, that you can get those people back. So early intervention is key, and the first part of the AEDs is knowing where they're at.
Yeah.
So, they're in schools, they're in workplaces, they're everywhere. But if you don't know where they're at, they're hard to, you can't use them. So I think that's the first thing we like to focus on at the fire department is knowing that, hey, where are they located and how to access them, because that is the first thing. They are super, super easy to use. I think people are a little intimidated because they've never used one, but it basically walks you through it. If you can hear the prompts that it gives you, it's basically foolproof. So, so the basic thing is knowing where it's at, and then once you do grab it, your second most important thing is to call 911. To get us coming, and then start utilizing the AED. The AED you have here, this one is out of the third floor hallway in City Hall. So when you get these, say somebody collapses, you're going to go grab this. You're going to send someone to call 911. That's your first prompt. There's only 2 buttons on these. So you have the on button, and you have the red button, which is the shock button. On these, once you open them up, you're going to hit the on button.
Okay.
And then once you hit the on button, it's going to, I got a little quick guide here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get to it with the camera. But once you guys turn these on, it's going to start talking to you. It's going to tell you exactly what to do. It would say, turn on the AED, and then follow the voice prompts. So the first prompt is going to be check the patient. Are they breathing? Are they unresponsive? If they're not breathing and they're unresponsive, it's going to tell you to call 911. You're going to call 911 if you haven't already. We like to do that first.
Yeah.
And then it's going to tell you to place the electrodes on the patient's chest.
Okay.
So the patient's chest, they're going to be marked. So on these electrodes, I don't want to open them, but they're color coded. It'll give you a color option, and you're going to place those exactly where they say.
Okay.
It's already plugged in. It's already attached to the monitor.
Okay.
It'll say open AED pads and place pads.
Okay.
It'll make sure on the back they usually have a wet wipe and a towel to dry. So you would wipe that area before you place the pads.
Okay.
So to make sure they stick good and that good conductivity for the electrical currents. Once you put these on the patient, it's going to say they want to assess the patient. So basically, it's going to read the heart rhythm, because
Okay.
not all heart rhythms are shockable. Okay,
Oh, really?
so it will only shock. It'll advise you to shock if it's a shockable heart rhythm. If it's a flat line, asystole, or PEA, pulseless electrical activity, it will not shock those rhythms. Now, if it can't shock, it'll tell you to begin CPR.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what you do. And that, at the end of the day, if it does want you to shock, it'll say, keep your distance from the patient and don't touch the patient and hit the red button. You see
That
the
one down
electrical
there.
activity. Got the little lightning bolt on there, and it'll deliver a shock.
Does it keep on?
No. So
Just
once it
once?
delivers a shock, it'll say continue CPR, and you will go back and continue your CPR.
Okay.
And it'll just keep going in that circle. It'll say stop for a check. It'll check the rhythm again. If it's shockable, it'll shock again. And if it's not, it'll tell you continue CPR.
Okay.
So it is voice prompts are telling you exactly place pad, call 911, expose patient's chest, place pads, heart check, your cardiac monitor check, and then it'll tell you either shock or begin CPR. There's really 4 steps in this, and the whole time it's talking to you to tell you what to do.
Is
so-
that on battery?
What's that?
Is that on battery?
Oh yeah. So all of these, you can see these in most of the businesses. They're checked by an outside company.
Okay.
But yeah, they have batteries and they come and check them. I want to say we check ours every day at the fire station, but like businesses and stuff like that, they'll have companies come in and check them annually or quarterly.
Okay.
And it's usually companies that do like the fire extinguishers and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So on these, they're super self-explanatory. I wish I had a monitor to. I can.
No, it gives
probably,
us an idea what
Let me see this.
you'd be doing rather than, because with the explanation in the back picture, you have an
Unit
idea.
okay.
So this is telling us that the unit's okay, and then
Automatic defibrillator. Stay calm. Check responsiveness.
this is what
Call for help.
tell you call
If
911.
patient is a child, press child button.
That's down here, the adult child button, and it shows you pictures. So
Remove pad package.
Which is that? Yeah.
and we'll get to the point in this.
Cut or tear clothing to expose patient's bare chest.
I will make us put them on
Cut
to
or
go
tear clothing
further.
to expose patient's bare chest.
So
Okay, so that gives us an
Yeah,
idea.
it gives-
Pad package.
yep, I'm gonna turn it off
Unit
now.
powering
Okay.
off.
So that gives you an idea what
Yeah.
it's going to sound like and what you're going to experience when you open one of these and you're going to use one.
Yeah.
So they're super, like I said, if you can
Explanatory.
follow the prompts, and it's very, very specific.
The most important thing for somebody, the beginning button and that red button down there is for special. Okay.
Pretty much, once you turn it on, it's going to start talking to you and tell you exactly what to do.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and then just real brief on the CPR part. Like, if you don't have to be trained in CPR, like per se, to make sure. Like, yeah, I need to do this, and they have like a hands-only CPR where it's not mouth to mouth. It's called, and you just do chest compressions, mid-sternal, 2 inches in depth, and for 30 in a row. If you're using this, they want you, when they say, hey, start CPR, that's what they're talking about. The chest
Okay.
compressions, 30 compressions every, they want you to keep around about 100 per minute.
Oh, really?
So it's pretty fast paced.
So you're going,
yeah.
yeah.
So, and that's what they're referring to as a CPR.
Okay.
On this one, there is a bag mask. You can pull this out and do, breaths too, but you don't have to.
Okay. It's all available just in case. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So for a lot of you, like he said, if you're going into some place, especially if you have a whole group going, I mean, because you never know. I mean, like with council meetings or any of the meetings, you have no idea if somebody's going to all of a sudden,
Oh, yeah.
hey, and where is it? And you can go to it and start and help
Yeah.
out.
No, it's knowing, like I said, knowing where they're at and knowing how to access them is the key. So, because they are probably, there's more around than people think.
Yeah.
And they, if you guys, as you're walking through your buildings or your workplace or the schools, if you know where they're located, that just makes it a ton easier. When an emergency comes, you kind of sometimes your brain,
You said like
your
the first
process,
3 minutes
yeah.
makes a big difference. Yeah.
We go all the time into businesses, and I'm like, "Where's your fire extinguisher?" And they're like, "Oh, I got to find it and look." So it's not useful if you don't know where it's at and it's not accessible. Same thing with the AEDs, right? So yeah, in your place of work or any place you spend an exorbitant amount of time, or in kids' athletics. I know the governor last April in 2024 passed a state law, and it was bipartisan, that all coaches and they have to be trained in CPR and first aid and stuff like that. So that's great, because then that helped, like the person
Yeah.
in Elm Park, knowing how to use these and knowing CPR and coming up with an emergency plan, help them.
Yeah.
You
You mentioned about CPR. When I was a waitress many moons ago, we had to go at least once a year for a refresher course. And that's when we used to go to River Rouge and had chest x-rays for tuberculosis. So that's like, ooh. But things have changed then from that time too.
Right. No, yeah. So there's different types of CPR. I mean, they do, the one I was referring to is just hands only. It's because, a lot of people with communicable diseases, they a lot of times don't have the masks available to do the breaths. Studies have found that just doing the chest compressions is sufficient, because there's enough oxygen in your blood that if you can just keep circulating it with the chest compressions, you can have very successful CPR that way until the EMS arrive. And so yeah, it does change quite frequently. I think with your certified CPR classes, they usually last 2 years from the American Heart Association. And I would suggest everyone learn it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a life skill, and it's beneficial
Oh yeah,
for sure.
you never know. Like I said, just like you said, knowing where it is, how to start it, and that tells you information. So anyway, that's one thing.
Yeah,
Thank you. It gives me an idea, and I'm sure you know something now too, because I didn't even know how to take it out of the plastic case, because I looked.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So now that we're able to turn it on and people at home can hear, oh, okay, that's exactly like what they're thinking, or they wouldn't know. But yeah, getting it out and turning it on and making sure you can follow those prompts, it's pretty self-explanatory, and the success rate with them is amazing. So
Yeah, and by that time, 911.
hopefully we're there. Yeah, we're there to help you out, because you guys are helping us out, getting that ball rolling.
Yeah.
So
You have an awful lot of things being taken care of by your department.
yep.
And what are we going to start with? First, there was something that was free
So
detectors.
the smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, we started a program approximately, I would say, 2 months ago. They're free for residents of the city of Wyandotte. and they just need to contact the fire department, and we will reach back out, set up a day, and we'll come and assess, do a little home safety check, and install smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors where they're needed if you don't have working ones.
Okay.
They are self-contained 10-year lithium-ion batteries. So the
Beautiful.
batteries are not replaceable. They are, once the 10 years is up, you pitch them. So
Okay.
yeah, we have those. We have that program we started. It's been going really well, pretty successful. And we're partnering with the state of Michigan for funding to make sure that we're able to do that and put them in homes all throughout the city. So yeah, if anyone's interested in smoke detectors, or we have combination smoke and carbon dioxide detectors that we install too. So we like to get out there and make sure that, because smoke detectors are a great tool for, we like to call it community risk reduction.
Yeah.
So we want to work on minimizing the risk to the citizens before emergencies happen. So that's where our focus is at the fire department. And this is one of the programs that we started and we're really excited about, and it's
yeah.
going really well. So
Another one that we mentioned about watching a council meeting, and our mayor happened to say something about boxes being installed. And that's something that's going to be, in the next couple weeks or so?
yeah, so we will be at the council meeting on April 28th, and we will be presenting, basically, we're starting a residential lockbox program for any citizen in the city of Wyandotte. We want to gear it towards senior citizens and people with disabilities that have a hard time ambulating or getting to the door. In case there's an emergency, instead of us coming in and breaking something or trying to get in, the doors locked, there will be a lockbox that will be outside of the door that only the fire department has a key to, and we would be able to access the key to your home and be able to come in and assist you that way. 'Cause a lot of times people, have their doors locked and they fall. They can't get to the door to let us in, and we have to figure out a way to get in safely and try and minimize damage. So this is the mayor's brainchild. He's super excited about it. Mayor DeSanta came to us and wanted us to work on something, and I think we have a really good program that's getting ready to kick off here
that
soon.
Sounds good.
And with we had reached out for some funding. We have some partners with Henry Ford Wyandotte Hospital, BASF, and the Wyandotte Rotary Club. They were all gracious enough to get us some funding to get this program started. So we're excited about it. So keep your eyes and ears peeled.
Yeah.
We don't have it in place yet, but we should be in the next couple weeks kicking this off. So I will have, it'll be on the city's Facebook page and how to access us, and make sure if you're interested on how to get those boxes so we can help people.
So what happens when we go through the first 100? Like, whoop!
Well, we're
Then
we're gonna do what we can to get back out there and raise some more money. So I feel very confidently, like we're very supporting community. They help us with a lot of our programs, our fire prevention programs. Our material is all funded from a lot of the community members, whether it's businesses, but it's mostly small local businesses. I mean, this one we did bring in a couple of the larger Henry Ford Wyandotte Hospital and BASF. But I feel very confident that we are able to raise enough funding to keep this program going, because that was one of the very important points to the mayor, is he wanted this program at no cost to the citizens. So we're going to do everything we can to keep it that way.
Well, it's important for you guys too, because 5-10 minutes makes a big difference in something.
Oh yeah,
happening.
yeah. Someone's in there, and we have to gain entry. We'll go around, check, because we definitely don't want to break things, right?
Yeah.
But we're good at it, breaking things. But
Oh, really?
oh yeah, it's fire department, firefighters, yeah. So, but yeah, we try to minimize damage. So we'll check windows. We have different ways to get in homes through the locks. This will really speed up the
Minimize.
process. So and minimize damage if at times. I mean, obviously it's a voluntary program, so it's like people will be signing waivers, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And if it's a program they're interested in, then we have the option to, offer them that. So
Okay.
we're pretty excited about it. The mayor's really excited about it, so I think it's going to be good.
Okay. There's something we were talking about beforehand. I go to the Legion a lot, and there have been occasions when people have gone into the river and didn't realize, but you have to have special training here because basically of the waterways.
Yeah. We all of our crews we do ice rescue training annually, and we also do water rescue training annually. We have a lot of water equipment, ice rescue equipment, water equipment. We have a inflatable rescue boat that we're able to inflate in like less than 30 seconds. So we do have a lot of capabilities, and we do a lot of training to make sure that we're safe. And yeah, a lot of people do go into the river, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I'm not sure the reasons,
reasons,
but
but-
it happens, and we're trained to do it, and we want to make sure that we keep that training up. So that's our goal. There are times where we try not to put our employees and in harm's way. So
Right.
like ice is very dangerous,
Yeah.
because if they get stuck under the ice, there's no way to
Yeah.
to try and get out of that. And that river is flowing at a pretty good pace. So there are times where we don't go in, or we won't go in, and but we do have throw bags and things that we can do from land to assist those people also. So it's one of those things that we've always, since I've been there 24 years, we've always kind of taken pride in making sure that we're able to respond to all emergencies in our community. And then with the whole east side of Wyandotte along the river, we have to make
Yeah.
sure we're trained and we have the equipment. So
One good thing about our system, and it's not only a fire department, but it's a police department too, where if there's an emergency someplace and the city will ask or call for help, you guys go, right?
oh yeah, the police, and we work really well with the police. Have a lot of great tools too that they have their drones now. They can deploy real quickly.
Really?
Yeah, and that's amazing. Like if someone was to fall into the river or go into the river, they could deploy those, and because sometimes they're moving,
Yeah.
on that. So they have a lot of great resources, and they're always there to assist us in any emergency. But yeah, I can't think of a time where neither one of us went. So you call 911, you're gonna get somebody. So for
Hopefully.
sure, no, you will. Yeah.
Okay, like you had mentioned, you're down, well, you got 25 firemen.
Yep.
You need an extra one. So you're on a rotation all the time. How do they work it now? 24 hours on, 20 off?
Our departments staff 24 hours a day. The individuals, the crews, we have 2 units. They work 24-hour shifts. We do have our full complement would be 26. Right now we're at 25, so we are one short. I think all of the trades, I would say, struggle in the last couple years of recruiting quality candidates or enough people, and we're hoping that kind of trend is going upward. So a lot more people are coming into the fire departments and police departments and any of the trade work. So it's just been really tough with the newer generation. I don't know if they focus on technology and something different, but we are down one, but we've done really well. I think we've hired 11 in the past 3.5 years.
Really?
Employees. So we've done really well comparatively speaking to some other neighboring departments. Everyone's struggling to find employees.
Well, what are the requirements, basically? If somebody wants to put an application in, what's their chance?
Well, if they have all the qualifications, their chances are really good. But all of our requirements are on, just so everyone knows, they're on the city website. The job posting for a probationary firefighter is posted. It's been there for years. We, in the city of Wyandotte, you have to have your Fire 1 and 2 certification through the state, and we require all of our department members to be paramedics. We do have a new program we just put in place in the last couple of years to try and entice other people coming in. They can be basic EMTs, but they need to acquire their paramedic license within 15 months of hire. And that program is 18 months to 2 years long, just the paramedic program. So it's all in all, it's probably between 2 and 3 years of schooling to be certified to be a firefighter in the city of Wyandotte. So does take some college, it's a lot of schooling, but I think I love it. I think it's the best job in the world. So I would recommend it to if someone's interested in it. I think it's not for everybody, but
No, I guess
Yeah.
not, especially if you're not a person that likes blood, which could be.
yeah, there's some drawbacks, right?
Yeah.
The blood, bodily fluids. Some people don't like seeing people in in bad situations, hurt, injured. You kind of it's you have to have the mental wherewithal to kind of go through those situations, still be cognizant of what you need to do without kind of getting stressed out.
If you're going to
So if you're gonna see someone's leg bent the wrong way and you can't help them, then that's probably you freeze up, then that's not good either. So it takes a special person.
Special person.
But so we're always the fire service. If you're trained, you can probably have a job and on your way home from your last day of school. That's it. They're out there. The jobs are there. So we just need the people. So
Yeah. Hey, I thank you for coming because, like you said, you got all these other programs going like crazy, and I said, okay. And he said, I'll put it down for the 15th. I said, all right.
And this is great. It's always good to talk to you and the community and about what we're doing.
Right.
And to get to know us and our faces. And a lot of times when people see us out and about, going into people's houses, they might think it's an emergency. We might just be in there installing a lockbox or smoke detectors and things like that. So there's a lot of things going on good in the fire department. So, but I appreciate the invite again.
Thank you.
Next time I gotta get back to you quicker though.
Oh, October. That's your big month for safety.
Yeah, October's Fire Prevention Month. So that's a big one for us. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, half hour went pretty fast. I was going to say something else, but you're going to have to come back next week and find out what it was. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Up, Down, and Around Town. I know.